Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the FearFans podcast. I'm your host, Don Helmy. With me is Nick, and we should have several others joining us real soon. So tonight we're covering a real big cult favorite in the werewolf genre, and it is a movie that I remember kind of like being talked about a lot when I was little, like back in the year 2000. And yeah, Ginger Snaps. And this movie, damn, this is definitely a powerful independent film.
It really is, and it's definitely one of the far more better, like, well, not recent because it came out in the early 2000s, but definitely probably one of the more better werewolf movies of the early 2000s, at least.
Yeah, and yeah, I remember. And also, this movie was Canadian. Yeah, it was made in Ontario.
I figured it was Canadian. I thought it was, and I know, of course, more importantly too. I mean, Ginger Snaps also, was also a film that, of course, as we all know, spawned two sequels because it made a lot of success and money out of it.
Right.
So it's essentially part of a trilogy.
Well, yeah. I mean, it is. Well, actually, technically, it's a sequel, and then there was a prequel, both released in 2004.
You're
But,
right. I forgot.
yeah,
I've seen the second one. I haven't seen the first one, the prequel film. So you're right.
prequel. Yeah, it takes place in like in Canada as well, but in like the early 1800s. So it takes place almost 200 years before the events of the first movie.
Oh, so a period movie. Okay.
Yeah, yeah, that's the direction they were going with. But hold on, let me double check something here. I want to make sure, like, oh, wait, here, okay, it is. I want to make sure that it was going through my YouTube. I was having issues with this. Oh wait, the comments aren't showing up. Hey,
It's
Thomas, how's it going? Yeah, like it's weird. The comments from my YouTube page aren't showing up on here.
probably doing that. Hang on one second. It says because believe it or not, I'm actually now logged into the studio, so I could also see what's going on. It says viewer comments will not be visible when Facebook profile unless the stream is set to public.
Hmm.
Default the streaming set. Oh wait, that's for my profile.
This is
Um,
odd. It's been a while since this has happened actually once before, but that was a while ago when we covered The Shallows.
We did, and that was also when we were using StreamYard. So I would give it at least a few minutes because, sometimes like when the comments would not show up, eventually, like after a few minutes, all of them just like burst up on the screen. So let's give it a few minutes. I'm going to keep an eye on it and see, what happens. So we're going to have to only respond through certain areas of the destinations that we're broadcasting at.
Right. Okay. Hey, Thomas. Hey, Sitting Ducks. Hey, Kate. Thanks so much for tuning in. Yeah. Sorry if I can't respond to comments and me. Oh wait, here. I got an idea. Here, I'll just open. I'll just have them displayed on my phone.
That's just do what I do because remember how I said like I get comments on the show that comes from my personal page that don't show up in the comments. That's why I'm turning my head several times to check on the comments from my personal page so I can respond to people
There,
from that
there we
destination.
go. Okay, problem solved.
Yeah, that's where we're not either way, we're not going to be able to respond to everybody, but we'll try to respond as much as we're able to.
Yeah, and I'm just sad that I can't display comments in the video now because it's not showing up on here.
Well, like I
Uh,
said, maybe eventually they'll eventually come out. If it doesn't show up anytime soon, I'm going to contact Jeremy to let him know.
okay, all right. Well, anyway, so all right, let's move on. So yeah, Ginger Snaps originally was released in like film festivals, and then I believe it was like released in like select theaters. I think because even though this movie had a $5 million budget, which I thought they used very efficiently, by the way, especially with the practical effects. But yeah, it did. It only made like probably like about half a million in the box office. But
Yeah.
yeah,
Hey
so
Joe, he's watched my personal page. Good to
yeah.
see you. Good to
Hey
see you.
Braxton. Yeah, hey
Hey,
Braxton.
Preston.
Yeah, hey Braxton. Yeah, like I can't display your comments because they're not showing up on here on the studio page. But
Yeah, we're having a technical issue, and I'm
good.
kind of we're gonna type kind of investigate it if things don't improve in the next couple minutes.
Yeah, these live stream services. Yeah,
It
but
happens every now and then.
yeah.
Oh, wait, hang on one second. Jeremy is in the studio. Hang on.
Okay.
Oh wait, no, yeah, don't add him because I
Oh,
think he's trying to go in to try to figure out the problem.
oh yeah. But yeah, like I said, I'm gonna respond to your comments as best as I can. I actually have it displayed on my phone now. Yeah, that's how I know you're there, Braxton. But oh you haven't watched those movies? Well, they're definitely worth seeing. I will say that, Braxton. Especially like the first one. It definitely. I love how they just use lycanthropy as What was that?
Oh, wait, here they
Oh,
come. Now they're
oh, here
showing
they
up.
are. Okay, now it's showing up. Okay, perfect.
Well, hopefully it is. Hopefully
Let's
is. I
hope
don't
it's
know if they're going to show all the past ones, but that
no.
one is the first one I've seen.
Okay, well, hope it stays that way. All right. Anyway, I do like how like Ginger Snaps to the first movie, how it uses lycanthropy as a metaphor of sexual maturity, puberty.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's what I find interesting about it is to give that aspect of, teenage puberty, like in this case, especially with teenage girls. I
Oh
mean,
yeah.
not to get too personal, like with periods, that kind of stuff, but
Right.
connecting that with werewolves,
Hmm.
the werewolf curse, as I would call it.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, like that's definitely the theme of this whole movie. Like, it's definitely like a coming of age sort of film. But yeah, focusing on. Oh, here I want to get to here, like the cast of this. Let's see. Emily Perkins is in this, and the first time I saw her in a movie was actually in the 1990 miniseries of It.
Oh, that's
Yeah,
right.
yeah,
Yeah.
she was Beverly.
I didn't realize that was her.
Yep. Hang on, let me just pull
I
up the
mean, I
pic.
actually, if I had seen her, because I saw it obviously before Ginger Snaps, and honestly, I probably didn't recognize her when she was in Ginger Snaps.
Yep, there she is.
Oh my god!
Yeah, it is
Oh
her.
yeah, now that you say that, oh wow,
So,
how old would she be by now today?
oh, she's got to be like in her late 40s, I think.
Yeah, because this was over. If it was 35 years ago, and Ginger Snaps is over 20 years ago, yes, that would have to put her in her late 40s at least.
Yeah, and at the same time was when she was working with it. I believe I saw her. Yeah, she was in this like bio docudrama, like based on like an actual serial killer. Well, I don't know about serial killer because apparently she only killed one person. But you ever heard of this about someone named Diane Downs?
Yes, yeah,
Yeah,
I have heard of Diane Downs.
yes. So Emily Perkins played the daughter of Diane Downs in that mini series called Small Sacrifices, the one where Farrah Fawcett played Diane Downs.
I'm sorry. I just want to let you know, Don. Jeremy just messaged you're double streamed on, so that might have something to
What?
do with not getting comments because you are getting a couple comments on your YouTube page, but I see you're streaming to 12 places. You're only allowed to 9, so that might be the
What?
reason.
How did that happen?
I don't know, though. It does look like there's a lot of streaming pages.
Huh?
Wait a second. Wait. Hang on one second before we continue. What the hell's going on? It's like double the amount of pages I'm looking at. Like there's two BB3s, two
Huh?
Things Network pages, both Facebook. Yeah, the double streaming happened to us last week, as Jeremy said. Two
Huh?
Things in Illinois. What's this one? Two Dot Elmy pages.
Hmm.
That okay,
That's
so
bizarre. Okay.
I'm not
Well,
going to do anything just
yeah.
yet. I'm going to see what if Jeremy can do this. I mean, I would take down one of the secondary streamings, even though there is not a
Well,
second page, but I don't want to cut off the entire page from
yeah.
broadcasting. That's the concern.
Right. I got you. Well, we'll just do what we can for now. Yeah.
That is
So
really bizarre.
that is very strange. But let's see, where were we? Oh yeah, like so she played the daughter of Diane Downs in Small Sacrifices. And let's see. Oh, after Ginger Snap, she had a bit part as a like a receptionist in Juno.
Oh, and Juno, wow.
Yeah, Juno's a good movie.
I've only seen parts of it. I haven't seen the whole
Yeah.
thing yet.
It's another good coming of age film. Oh,
Yeah,
hey, Dead
I've heard.
Souls. Here, Dead
Love the
Souls.
intro. I love the. I have seen the intro, the theme song of it. I do love that. I thought that was pretty cool. The animation and stuff they were using.
Yeah, yeah, it is good. But oh, here, Dead Souls. Sorry that her comment can't be displayed on here. We've been having some issues here, so
Yeah, there's. I don't know what's going on. We don't know what's going on. Everything's double streamed, which that is really unusual. I don't know why
yeah,
it's acting that way. So that's
yeah.
really
But I can still see your comments on here listed, so I'll keep up with them.
just not going to be able to show them on screen.
Right. But anyway, so that is weird. Yes, I've been saying that as well.
Yeah,
But,
that's something like Jeremy said. It's also happened on one of our other shows last week.
hmm. Okay, well, we'll just work with what we got for now.
Winners
Hey,
can't be choosers.
Thomas. Oh, babyface, how's it going? It's been a while. Yeah, thanks so much for tuning in. But Yeah, so yeah, Ginger Snaps, like we said, this led to a sequel and a prequel, both released in 2004. I believe they filmed those simultaneously.
Oh, I didn't realize they were filmed like right at like at the same time.
Like
That's
back,
something new.
yeah, back to back. Yeah, but this is totally awesome. Oh yeah, yes, it's great that we finally got to this movie because yeah, a lot of people have been requesting Ginger Snaps for a while now.
Honestly, I'm surprised we haven't done it sooner.
Yeah, yeah, because it's one oh Babyface is one of your favorite movies. Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, again, this movie did get a even though this didn't really become a hit in like box office, but it was definitely a hit in like when it was released in like a home video, and it has a 90% on Rotten Tomatoes.
There you go. Yeah.
Oh yes, you did request this Babyface. Okay, awesome. Well, glad we finally got to it.
Yep.
But yeah, and I learned there's plenty of love about this film, like the tone, the acting, the message, and also the practical effects. I love how they did not use any CGI whatsoever. The director was very adamant not want to use CGI. You know, it's all makeup and also animatronic effect.
That's another thing I wanted to point out too about that movie is even though this is okay, yeah, Braxton's comments are showing up again.
Oh,
I don't know how his are showing up, but not
yeah,
everyone
that's odd.
else's. Yeah,
That's odd.
but anyways, yeah, that's another thing I find really fascinating about Ginger Snaps at a time when CGI started to become more widely used for horror films as well as other genre films in the early 2000s. I like that Ginger Snaps continued the tradition of using old fashioned techniques.
Oh yeah, but yeah, here let me just see if I can display that what the werewolf looks like in this. Let's see.
Really well done.
It is. I'm actually impressed with it.
And another thing too, see Jeremy just left, so I guess there was just if he had left, that means there probably is just not much we're able to do about this issue. But anyways, what I like about the werewolf in this film is also it does have a different characteristic to like what you see in other werewolf movies. Two characteristics, if anything,
Yeah.
is I like how in this case it has like pale white hair compared to the average, werewolf with brown or black hair. Almost like it's given like a sign of albinism, but also kind of in a way, when you really think about it, again, because it focuses on the teenage puberty aspect where we're growing up, that, as we get older, our hair turns gray or white. Maybe it kind of has a message to it, but at the same time, I like how they also, in this case, they also use a different color for the werewolf. But the other thing that I find fascinating is when you really look at, like, as you just showed that display of the werewolf, even though it does have the wolf-like characteristics, you could still see that it has kind of almost more human-like features than canine-like features. Because it's been a while since I've seen the movies, but looking at it now, it's like the face looks more human to a degree, but it still does have some of those canine-like features to it. So I like
Right.
how it almost gives that aspect of truly the beast within, how there is a monster truly within all of us.
Yeah, that's true. That's definitely one of the messages in this. Yeah. Um, oh, here I wanted to catch up with some comments here. About time it came out as it was completely underrated. I agree. I agree that this movie is underrated. Babyface. Hey, Leon, how's it going? Yeah, sorry that I'm behind on comments here. Yeah, comments are not for those of you just tuning in. The comments are not displaying in our studio on here on the live stream. We're gonna try to keep up with it as best as we can, but yeah, some kind of a technical problem. But
I'm just going to check because I haven't been able to, I'm so used to always looking on my personal page. I also just want to look real quick on the Things Network page. See, okay, it looks like we're all in the clear on the Things Network page. No one's really been watching, so that's good for now.
well, the show is still we're still early on the show, so that'll change.
Well, yeah, but you get what I mean.
Yeah, I do. Oh, here Leon says hi, Nick.
Hello, Leon.
Yeah. So, and I just love the whole aspect, the slow transformation, and also coincidentally, the werewolf attacked Ginger like on the night where she first was going through her menstrual. So then throughout the whole movie, they used lycanthropy as a metaphor for like sexual for that kind of maturity.
Exactly. I'm
Yeah.
sorry, Don. Real quick, Jeremy just sent. He's going to remove one of the streams on Facebook, but one of those that has no views whatsoever.
Okay,
He's
I
going to
got
see
you.
if that's going to make any change.
All right. Yeah. So
Well, and
yeah, so
that's
it's and like gradually throughout the whole movie, she just transforms. You know, like a metaphor of the body changing.
well, that's actually something I wanted to point out too. Again, with the puberty aspect in it, it's also a representation that again, when it comes to puberty, as we're
Mhm.
growing up,
Right.
you have no control over, your own body practically. I mean, that's kind of the reality of like kind of this werewolf transformation. The message it's kind of sending is that as years go on, we grow, we start growing more, we get older, our voices change, we
Yeah.
start, and I'm not even talking about like the responsibilities for life. I'm just talking from, a human aspect. We're constantly growing, our voices change, and then of course as we get older our hair changes, and we develop other parts that we didn't have. It's to show that your body doesn't have you don't have any control over your own body. And
Right.
that kind of the way with the werewolf aspect is they have no control over the werewolf transformation. So that's kind of again a very important message that growing up and in this transition between a kid and an adult, it can be scary because it's also at a time where your hormones are going crazy and whatnot. So again, it's to have no, you just don't have any control over your own body when you're at that, when you're in those teenage years.
Pretty much. But as far as the voice changing thing, I'm pretty much sure my voice has
Well,
been my voice did change into all sorts of different characters even before I hit puberty. You know, like such as the Grinch. You know, I could voice the Grinch, and this
well, yeah, no, I mean that, that,
yeah,
that I don't mean by that perspective.
I know, I know what you meant. Hey,
Yeah, I know you. And let's not forget. Okay, I got to just throw out my personal favorite of Nicolas Cage.
of course, I know, of course. About to star in an upcoming movie. About to join the MCU. But anyway, let me catch up on some comments. Babyface says it's a nice slow transformation. Yes, it is. Gradual transformation, like slowly, like from the rapid healing in the very beginning to the hair growing out of the scratch wounds and or scratch marks. Yeah, they were healed marks. But let's see, the fangs, the claws, and and also she was growing a tail too.
Yeah,
So yeah, that was like a new one for me. Like werewolf transformations. Like I don't I think I can't think of that many werewolf movies where the werewolf has a tail.
yeah. It almost gives the kind of also get kind of is a little bit based, probably basing itself a little off the so-called dogman legends, like if Joe was on, Joe would know this, like Beast of Bray Road, just an hour away from us, is a type of dogman. And there's a lot of questions referring to, does the dogman, and not just the one in Wisconsin, like any type of dogman legend whatsoever, does the dogman have a tail? And from what I heard is sometimes it has a tail, other times it doesn't. But in this case, like with werewolves associated with, because some people, werewolves and dogmen are basically the same type of creature. There are, well, kind of some partial differences between the two, so that's why there's two titles. But I have noticed one thing they usually have in common, for the most part, usually is they don't have a tail.
Right. Oh, here, wanted to catch up on this. Leon was saying that from June 5th to 9th, he's going to Vegas. Oh, awesome. Hope you have a good time, man.
Okay, Jeremy's coming on again, so he's probably going to try something else. Yeah, right now, Jeremy,
Okay.
since you closed out one of the pages, unfortunately, the double streaming is still occurring as we speak.
Yeah, I don't get it. Oh, here, Leon is saying Cave of Wonders because I mentioned the whole voice changing thing. So, all right, fine, I'll do it. Who disturbs my slumber?
Ah.
Uh, okay, I just want to do that too for you guys. But anyway, yeah. So Emily Perkins, I don't think she's acting anymore. I'm not sure. Like maybe her career was not going in the direction she wanted, but she's actually teaching acting at the University of Wales now.
Oh, really? Wow.
Yeah, she's become yeah. So she's gone from being an actress to teaching acting. Let's see, she was 22 at the time this movie was being made. So yeah, I think she was the only one out of the two sisters who was not a teenager.
That's kind of what I feel. And it would make more sense, of course, obviously, like for some of her scenes, because one other thing that you got to throw out too is, in regards to the transformation, like where she's
Hmm.
growing all these, of course, also. It's additionally the way how she acts too is where she starts becoming more promiscuous again.
Yeah.
Another reminder of teenage puberty once again.
That's right. Oh, Babyface. Yes, we did mention earlier that she was Beverly in It. I displayed the picture, and it's like you look back at that movie, I'm like, oh my god, that really is her.
Yeah.
And here's one thing that might kind of that might may or may not shock you. But the actress who played Ginger in this, Catherine Isabel. Yeah, and I believe she's also Canadian in this. But yeah, she was. I actually saw her once before back in the '90s on Goosebumps. She was the girl in the. It came from under the sink. That episode.
See, you're gonna find this surprising. I've only actually seen just a few of the Goosebumps episodes, so
What?
I know, I know. That's why I'm trying to. This summer, I'm dedicating my spare time to watch. I know. That's why I'm going to be dedicating this upcoming summer to watch some of those episodes so I can catch up because I've only seen a few. I
Yeah,
keep in mind I was
and
more. I grew up with.
I've only seen all of them.
And keep in mind, I grew up more with like I said, Are You Afraid of the Dark than Goosebumps. Not because I was not a fan of Goosebumps. It's just that for the most part, the show was unavailable for me to watch. I didn't have any
I
control
gotcha.
over it.
And as far as horror, one other movie that I've seen her in was Freddy versus Jason. She was Gib.
Oh, really? Wow.
Yeah, yeah, Gib, who was who got impaled by Jason at the rave. She was like stabbing a guy who was trying to take advantage of her on top, and then stabbed her and then like threw the guy
Hey,
clear right before slaughtering everybody else at the rave.
yeah. Hey, Heather. Okay, sure. Comments are showing up. Private
Oh,
chat.
hey, Heather.
Jeremy said. Oh wait.
So
Okay, Jeremy
again,
just said. Okay, sorry, Jeremy. I don't know why that wasn't being notified. Okay, let's see what he said. Give me 1 second here. Um.
okay,
Okay, this is what. Okay, yeah, this is the new stuff. So I don't want to cut off any either because knowing our luck, it'll cut the stream comments. Okay, so he said. Your comment, you're just going to have to deal with what you got for this week. We'll need to pay closer to it, pay closer attention to the streams up top before going live. So long, guys. I'm
right,
going to go. Oh, he's going to head back to work. He said he also
okay.
removed one of the Things of Illinois pages and it took the live completely off both streams. So I'm not going to do anything else. So you'll just have to leave it as it is. All right. Thanks, Jeremy. Appreciate it. We tried our best.
Yeah, we appreciate it, Jeremy. All right, well, just work with what we have for now, I guess.
Yeah, there's just sometimes again, there's just times that we just it goes beyond our control. There's nothing we can do. So I would just say basically as far as for showing comments on the show this week, pretty much better luck next time. But
Yeah, I guess.
enjoy with what we have at least.
Yeah, because next time we're covering Cloverfield,
Oh, Cloverfield, that's right.
and that's another one that was highly requested. So we got to do that as well.
I also want to let
Oh yeah,
when we get off here.
Babyface. I know that. I know that. Are You Afraid of the Dark was also filmed in Canada, Montreal.
Oh, that's right, yeah. There is
Yep.
someone else who might be joining us next week, but I got to talk to you about it when the show's over, Don.
Yeah. Oh,
Oh,
okay.
now
Sounds good.
comments are. Oh, now Heather's comments are showing up more frequently.
Oh, great movie. Yes, Cloverfield. I remember seeing that in theaters when I was in high school. Yeah, it has been a while since we covered found footage movies. So yeah, I'm all for Cloverfield.
Not to mention a giant monster movie.
Oh yeah, yeah, good kaiju flick. Yeah, and let's see. T.J. Miller was in that. And this was like before he started going on the rise to fame. But
Yep.
yeah, and let's see. So yeah, Catherine Isabel, like I said, she was in Freddy versus Jason. She was like that. Oh
Said
quiet
it's
tonight.
just
Oh,
Heather, yeah. Well, at least we could show
yeah.
Heather's comments.
Yeah. Anyway, so yeah, Freddy versus Jason. I'm trying to remember what other movies that she was in because I know she's got quite a resume on her. Yeah,
Yeah,
Catherine Isabel.
I'm gonna have to
Oh
re-look
wait,
into what she does.
I
Again, it's
did,
been a long time since I've seen
I
what
did,
else she
I did
started.
see her. Yeah, I did see her in another movie. It was another horror film called Disturbing Behavior, the one with Katie Holmes.
Oh, that's right. I haven't seen that
Yeah,
one, but I've heard of disturbing behavior.
yeah, Tom Cruise's ex-wife. Oh, and also Tom Cruise was at one point married to the mom who was in this film, Mimi Rogers.
Really?
Yeah,
Wow.
so
I would have
yeah,
never thought of that in a million years.
yeah. Tom Cruise. Tom Cruise's ex-wife is Ginger's mom in this.
Very
Oh
interesting.
man, but oh yeah. So yeah, this movie takes place in a fictional town in Ontario. So because I could pretty much tell because of all the Ontario license plates, and also there was a missing poster sign that I believe was showed the word missing in both English and French. So French Canadian.
Yeah, I mean that's a French speaking area of Canada, so that's not surprising at all. And funny
Right.
enough, I was
So
only and I know that for a fact too, because when I was in Michigan last year, I was just like 10 minutes away from the US Canadian border. So right across the border was Ontario.
yeah. Oh wait, yeah, that's right. She was in the remake of Carrie. Yeah, that's right. Catherine Isabel. She was yeah Carrie. Yeah, I remember.
Oh my god, you're right. I forgot about
Like,
yeah, wasn't she also in
that's
I thought she was wait, you're talking she was in the 2013 remake. That's correct. She was
no
carrying that movie.
no. No,
Oh
not
wait,
in the
the 2002 remake.
2002 remake. Yes.
Okay, yeah. Okay. That is the only one I still haven't seen. So when you said the Carrie the remake, I was thinking the 2013 one.
Let's see. I'm trying to think of what was the character that she played. Tina. That's her. It was Tina. And let's see. Who try to remember who played Angela something. Bettis. Angela Bettis. I know because she was also in May. So
Oh, May. That's another
yes,
one we'll have to cover sometime down the road.
yes. Down the road we'll cover May definitely. But yeah, and so as for this film, it focuses on the two sisters, Ginger and Bridget, and they're both of like early high school age, and they're just about as morbid as it gets. Like they make it perfectly clear in the first 5 minutes of the film because it shows them like doing all these death pictures, like with doing it in ways that would have I'm pretty sure would have amazed practical effects artists. That's what they could have done had all this not happened. Like be working with practical effects in horror films.
That's the thing too. I was thinking to myself. I remember watching that opening stamp, thinking to myself, "Man, it's too bad they could have changed the script up and say that they were trying to audition for like a horror movie company because they are so damn good at showing off with death. Like all these graphic images and stuff like that. I mean, honestly, I'm going to be totally honest because I saw this movie too back when I was in high school. I wish I could have thought of something like that." If I had all the effects for, I probably would have.
Yeah, for sure. Oh man, but like they kept taking like all these pictures for like class projects, and like of course the teacher was outraged and disgusted by it, but all the other kids just loved it.
Yeah, I don't think you're really supposed to send that kind of like show that to like in high
You're
school
not.
back then. I
You're
mean, I still
you're
remember
not.
like I mean, the close. Okay, I'm gonna be honest. The closest thing I think we've ever had something like that from high school, believe it or not, was when I was in film class.
Yeah.
I don't know if it ever was broadcasted on the high school television channel, but there was a black and white film that we watched that definitely was creepy, and it was like it was made by one of the like a past high school student. I don't remember exactly. It's like again, it's in black and white, but it's also like almost in total darkness. And there's like this. It's kind of like a headlight over this guy, and I can't tell if he's like in a bathtub or something like that. I mean, he's fully clothed, of course, and
Right.
he's doing something to his skin. I think it was like ripping his skin off or something like with his fingernails or something like that. It was just,
Man.
it was really bizarre, but that is probably, I mean, again, it's been so many years. It's not like a film you can watch online. So I would have to go to the high school to find it, but it was it was kind of graphic for a movie of that type for a high school. That's the closest I don't remember like when he was ripping off the skin like if blood was coming out of it, but either way, it was graphic and it was still very much disturbing and scary at the same time. But it's closest I've ever seen to something like that.
Horror
As
thriller
far as
Angela was
graphic
good at.
images for as far as graphic
I'll,
images for a high school project is concerned.
yeah, I'll definitely have to see that one, Braxton. I'm surprised
I've
I haven't
heard of
come across that
Scar.
yet.
That's another one I got to see.
Yeah. So yeah, Bridget and Ginger, they're just about as morbid as it gets. They're death obsessed, and they had like this pact where by 16 they're either leaving that town or dying together. You know?
It's obvious too that there's a reason why they'd be saying that is because unfortunately they're also the outcasts. They're always
Right.
tormented and bullied by the popular kids. Again, typical like what you see in these coming of age films, like we saw with Carrie from a week or so ago. So they're the
Yeah, 2 weeks
outcasts,
ago.
and it's 2 weeks ago, yeah. So they're the outcasts, and it's quite obvious that they're the only ones that can look out for each other.
Yeah, totally. They're always looking out for one another. Like Bridget is always close behind Ginger all the time. And here, Babyface said, "Out by 16 or dead in the scene, but together forever." That's what they told themselves. Let's see. They made that pact with themselves when they were like 8, and I'm like, 8 years old, and they're thinking about this. I'm just like, wow, Jesus. But
Yeah.
yeah. So for the photo class, they were like having both of them take pictures of them being either like fake pictures of them being dead, like impaled by fence posts. Let's see, a pitchfork to the neck in one of them. Let's see, a lawnmower. Lawnmower, pill overdose, and also, one of the last ones they showed was of I think Bridget hanging.
Oh yeah, yeah. And that's the other thing
Yeah, that
too.
was
In addition to the teacher not approving, their parents obviously don't like it either.
yeah, but they don't really do that much about it. It's like
Yeah.
it's perfectly obvious. It's just obvious from the start that the sisters are representing like a shift from like normalcy, that shit like, and also and then it goes from that to challenging of women going through adolescence.
Well, and it's
Um,
also it's just that type of accomplishment where they want to stand. They don't want to be. They obviously don't want to be. I almost said all American, but since this is in Canada, they're obviously not trying. They're also trying to make a breakthrough, not trying to be the typical Canadian teenagers with a usual persona. They want to break out from that and have something look different from
here,
everybody else.
yeah. Hey, is Kate trying to join?
I
I
didn't
think
see her
Braxton might
coming
be.
on.
Okay, I'm just hoping like this didn't mess up the link that we sent to them. Like
No, I don't
whatever's
think
going
it's
on
gonna,
with this.
no, I don't think it's going to have anything to do with. I don't think that has anything to do with the link. I think it's just the issue with the broadcasting. Because
Okay.
even if you cancel one of the studios, even if you close down one of the destinations, it probably would have little to no effect on the link.
Okay, I hope it doesn't. I'm just hoping whatever's going on is not going to screw anything else up. Yeah. But
No,
anyway, let me catch up
if
with
anything,
comments.
she'll probably
Let me
send it. If anything,
so
she'll
here. Let
probably
me
send a message.
okay.
Excuse me.
Let me catch up with the comments here. Let's see,
Yeah,
Thomas.
yeah, go on.
Yeah, day's going fine. We were just having like broadcasting issues. Like it was showing duplicates of like sources. I don't know how to explain, but I don't know how it's happening. But here, Babyface says, "I guess if you had Mimi Rogers as a mom, you might be a little crazy too." Kate's gonna be joining us in 5 minutes. So, here,
Okay.
I think you figured out to mod. Oh, here, Leon's saying, "I see you figured out how to moderate." Nice, yes. I'm monitoring it from my phone. Like I found like even though the comments are not displaying in the studio area that we're in the stream, I'm still able to track your comments. I'm not going to be able to display the majority because the majority of them are not showing up on here. But we're doing the best we can with this this little mess that we got. But
We can only see it from two of the destinations right now. So if anybody else is watching from one of the other pages that we're not seeing. It's not that we're ignoring comments, like let's say the BB3 page or the LinkedIn or things YouTube page. We're not ignoring any comments. They're again, we're just it's because of the technical issues. So we do
Right.
apologize if we don't respond to those who are watching on some of the other destinations. We can only see so many comments from some of these respective destinations.
Right. But we're gonna do the best we can with this. So, hey, Fear Fans goes on as planned. So, anyway, so yeah, anyway, back to Ginger Snaps. So, yeah, like there's also a what's going on throughout the film. They show like all of like the werewolf is starts off by killing all the neighborhood dogs. Like it actually opened up with a woman finding her like
Oh,
in her like toddler son, and like going to the bed to the doghouse, finding that their dog Baxter has been torn in half.
he's like half eaten.
Yeah, and I'm like, okay, seriously, lady, how do you not notice like right when you step outside, like how do you not notice your dog is dead?
As far as I'm aware, for something like that to occur, because again, you know me with my study of cryptids, like how some of these cryptids are known to attack pets and livestock. A lot of
Hmm.
times, whether it's day or night, a lot of times you usually will hear the commotion outside. So I don't know how somebody like her could have not heard any. I mean, unless they were not home, there's no way you couldn't not hear anything like that.
Right. Oh, here, Babyface said, "I think dog lovers everywhere hated this movie." Yeah, probably.
Well, at least at the very least, I mean, not trying to sound
Yeah.
bad, but at least the dog was already dead, so we didn't have to worry about it suffer. We didn't have to feel bad about it suffering.
Um,
Yeah, you get what
it's,
I mean.
I was
At
about,
least
I was about to say that sounded dark.
that's what I mean.
Wow.
That's why I said I know how this is going to sound, but I'm just saying at least we didn't. Excuse me. At least we didn't witness like the dog being killed on camera because that's usually
Okay.
more upsetting to
Well,
watch.
yeah. That's why I will never watch Cannibal Holocaust ever again. I don't care.
Well, that's what I'm trying to explain.
Yeah. I haven't seen that movie in 10 years, and I intend on never seeing it again.
God, that movie was
Yeah, but
horrible.
yeah, yeah, it is. It's
And
terrible.
once again,
Yeah,
I'm
we're
gonna
not.
say,
We're not.
yeah, I'm just gonna say this once again. I said, and this is something I've said before because I know some viewers haven't heard us say
Hey,
this.
Josh.
But hey, Josh, good to see you. Just gonna say it like I said before. No matter if anybody out there no matter how big of fans you guys are of that movie, we will not cover that one on Fear Fans. If you want a show like that, you're gonna have to watch someone else's show for that matter because we won't
Yeah,
cover that one.
yeah. What I personally think should happen to Cannibal Holocaust is like that guy said at the end of the movie
Yeah,
when they watched all that recovered footage. He picks up the phone and says, "I want this material burned, all of it." That's what it should have happened to Cannibal Holocaust.
I'm really surprised nobody
Yeah,
ever
yeah, good,
truly did
yeah,
that.
good. Don't see it. Don't
No,
see it,
don't,
babyface,
don't. You
because
won't. You're gonna
it's
regret it.
yeah, it's controversial because live animals were actually killed making the movie. It shows it on camera. It's real. The
It's
animals dying on there. It's
it's
completely
close
real.
to what you can get to like what's known as as a snuff movie. I mean, maybe not necessarily the people are killed, but it's still I see it as a true snuff movie. Which for those that
It
don't know
is.
what a snuff movie is, that's a movie based. That's pretty much a movie when somebody is actually killed on camera. Now there is no evidence or proof to show that there has been an actual snuff movie made, but this was the
Yeah.
closest that it's ever gotten to because animals were actually killed in this movie.
Yeah, yeah, my thoughts exactly, babyface. WTF? Yeah, it is so wrong. I mean,
Yeah,
when I
horrible.
yeah, like, and everybody, when yeah, the reason why I watched that movie is because we were shown that for a film class at an auditorium. So well over 100 people with me watched it. I watched it with a horrified face, thinking I cannot be the only one disgusted and like shocked by this. And like, sure enough, everybody around me shocked expressions. A few of them were in tears watching that. And I'm thinking, and I walked out of there just thinking like, what is the director going to have for his next movie? Some real footage of POW executions?
And not only that, I mean, let's not also, and I'm just gonna. I think this is also. I mean, I know we're going off track, but I think it's important to say. Well, actually, it's funny. Josh said that. Well, Josh, not necessarily, because not only were the animal deaths just real, the deaths in this movie, the movie did pay homage, did inspire one thing, however. It was considered one of the first true found footage movies that predated Blair Witch Project. In fact,
Right.
even the tagline of the movie is similar to the Blair Witch Project, saying like in 1979, 4 or 5 filmmakers went down to the Amazon rainforest to film one of the last true Stone Age tribes that practiced cannibalism. A year or so later, their footage was found. That's what later inspired the Blair Witch Project to do it. But because of the animal deaths, and also because the deaths were so realistic and horrific, and the fact that there's never been a found footage movie made before, many people believe that this was an actual snuff film. And the Italian director, Ruggero Deodato, he was actually arrested for making this film, because when that movie came out, he actually asked the actors that played the filmmakers to disappear, not participate in any other movies, commercials, TV advertisements, or even music, or even writing books. They said, because he wanted to make people think this was a real movie.
Yeah.
But
What do you think was going to happen? Like, did they think like the authorities were just going to be cool with it?
he thought basically he was going to try to break the record of making this like an actual snuff movie. And so he was arrested for both, supposedly, as everyone believed, the murders of these actors and the animal cruelty. It was only when Ruggero Deodato immediately had to cancel that contract with the actors to disappear and have them appear on a local Italian television show, was when eventually the murder charges were eventually dropped, but the animal cruelty charges remained. So he ended up, I don't know if he ever served any jail time, but I know he was on probation. And according to what I heard, he was not even that great. He was not really that friendly with the cast and crew when they made this movie.
No
Of
shock
course,
there.
yeah, I mean, Ruggero Deodato passed away a few years ago, but he was in his 80s. But many years later, and I was fortunate enough to have met him back at Fangoria's Weekend of Horrors back when I was 16 years old. It was a little hard to understand because he had a very heavy Italian accent, because this movie, even though it was shot not in South America, this was an Italian film. And prior to his death, he said many years later, he really wished he never made that movie. He regretted it every single day of his life and carried it to his grave.
Yeah, man.
I wish
Well,
that he should, he said I should have listened to everybody and should have never made it the way it should have been. Never should have done it.
yeah, man. But
Anyways,
wow, yeah, we kind of we took this in a different direction.
we went
But
overboard, but let's just say let's just say that's as close as we'll ever get to talking about Cannibal Holocaust. You guys got all the information you needed.
Yeah, don't watch the movie. We pretty much explained to you all you need to see.
Actually, let me just see what Josh. Good. I'm glad that he was arrested. The actors that finished the project should be discussed. They filmed it to the Yeah, I mean that's the other. Okay, I'm just gonna say, yeah, a lot of the actors that were in that movie, they later, I heard a lot of them did not have, even though making movies is fun. I've been looking at the trivia. Wait. I heard a lot of the actors did. Hey, what's up, Kate?
Hi guys, how are you?
Doing good. How about you?
Doing good.
I'm good. I'm good.
Yeah, it definitely is, Josh. But yeah, I heard that. From what I heard is, I don't think a lot of the actors in that movie had a really good time making that film.
Is that a Freddy Krueger shirt?
No, it looks like it, but it's actually orange, and kind of like a very dark, like navy blue.
Yeah. So, Kate, as we were Kate, as we were saying, like comments are popping up everywhere. Everybody's saying hi to you, Babyface, Thomas, and Leon.
Everyone.
But
I've got it on my phone, so I can see you.
Yeah, again, like I said.
Okay, so you're aware of the situation we had, but we're gonna do the best we can here. But yeah, so Ginger Snaps, Kate. This came out in 2000, and there was, as they're mentioning in the comments right now, there was a second and third film. The second one serves as a sequel. Third one serves as a prequel, and all three of these films were made in Canada.
Okay, yeah, I have to be honest. Never seen it. I've never even heard of it. but it does sound very, very interesting. Sort of like a pre-Twilight. No, I don't
Well,
know.
As Tom would
I don't
say,
know about that.
well, I will say this, as Tom would say, at least nothing was so sparkly about it.
Yeah, no,
No,
no sparkly bits
you
in
won't.
it.
Where's
Yeah, no,
Tom when we need him to say that? He says it better than I can.
yeah, no, you won't find any. You won't find any sparkles or romance in Ginger
No
Snaps.
sparkles.
No.
Come on.
Yeah, and this movie we were just discussing how this movie is especially disturbing for people who love dogs because there are parts where dogs have been killed off screen by the werewolf.
Oh
The
no.
dogs
Yeah,
are already dead.
the movie opens with that.
Yeah, the dog's already dead, but at least, again,
Yeah.
there's no scene of like the
Isn't
werewolf
it
actually.
like cannibalism? Because they're a werewolf, kind of wolf,
I mean,
dog.
I maybe to some degree. I Now that you mentioned, I never considered that.
Well,
Dark.
it's
Yeah.
hard to say because, like I said, this where as Don showed. I don't know if you heard me say this earlier, Kate. Is that the werewolf in this movie does have some different characteristics to the average werewolves, like you see in these movies. Like,
Yeah, I remember you mentioned a tail.
well, not
Yeah.
just the tail, just it has a more. It's not like what you'd see in other movies where there are these giant dogs or wolves basically that are covered in brown hair. It just seems like when I see the face looks more human than canine to a degree.
Mm-hmm.
So, it's hard to say if it's actually cannibalism when it's attacking dogs. So I get where you're coming from.
Do you remember that Are You Afraid of the Dark episode about the werewolf? About when the neighbors move in
Yes.
and they keep
Oh
a
yes.
werewolf like in the house and he goes in and yeah, I just remember the scene when he opens the fridge and there's all the meat in there. Like, what's going on? And I'm like, yeah, that was such a good episode. I missed that.
Oh yeah, like we were just talking about how the werewolves were well done in this film, like all practical effects, no CGI.
That's good, especially for 2000, you said, right?
Yeah, especially for 2000. Yes, and
Yeah.
Guys, I'll be back in just a sec. My mom needs me to bring something up. So, Kate, now that you're here, I'll be back in just a minute.
oh hey Tom. Yeah, Tom just waved, said hi to us in the comments.
Wait, which
Oh,
Tom
hi,
were we talking?
Tom
Which
Nally.
Tom were we talking about?
Tom Nally.
Pickle Tom.
Yeah,
Pickle Tom's here.
yeah. So yeah, and yeah, like okay, like this movie like has like a powerful message about like maturity. Like
Right.
especially in young girls. But yeah,
Interesting.
yeah, and so at the same time when Ginger is going through changes, right when she starts going through changes due to growing up, she is attacked by a werewolf that werewolf that's been killing all the neighborhood dogs. But
Okay.
so then she starts to slowly, gradually change into a werewolf. Like I mean, gradually, like, throughout the whole film. Not until like the past 10 minutes, not until like the last 15 minutes do you see her in the full werewolf form.
I see. So the whole film, the plot is she's becoming a teenager. She gets bitten by a werewolf. She becomes a werewolf. And at the end, you see her as a werewolf. That's the whole
Yes.
plot of it. Okay, interesting. And then what are the scenes like? Do you see like her feelings, her emotions? Do you see
yeah.
changes? And okay, so
Yes.
it's quite an emotional film.
It is in many points, yes, especially the end. Like
Okay.
when like Bridget, Ginger's younger sister, Bridget is like having a hard time coping with her sister transforming and like trying to enlist the help of like her friend who is like also goes to high school with them, is like a drug dealer, Sam, I believe his name was. But yeah, Sam was his name. So they came up with the idea of like mixing wolfsbane into like make that into like a cure, like a drug. Yeah. So
Oh,
they tried different things like giving like he gave Bridget silver like a stud like piercing like to give to Ginger, like a navel piercing. Made it a silver and it did nothing.
oh, okay. Yeah.
So
Interesting. So they tried to help her and
yeah,
cure
they tried to,
her. Okay.
but nothing worked. They throughout the film she was growing like her hair was changing white, and let's see, she kept growing. She was getting like claws to the fangs and growing a tail, But also, one thing I noticed in this that now I don't notice many people talking about. There's this part of this transformation is where her eyes changed in like two different colored eyes that you sometimes see in some dogs, especially huskies.
Yeah.
Where one eye is like one color, like blue, and the other one's a different color. I actually looked this up, and it's called heterochromia, and apparently it can be a real condition in humans, but it is rare.
Yeah.
What are we
Yeah.
talking
I've
about?
only ever met one person with that condition. It's really cool because she had one brown eye, one green eye.
What
It
are
was
we
really
talking about?
cool.
Oh, I was talking about part of Ginger's transformation in this film. Yeah, not many people mention this, but there's a in the last I want to say uh I want to say the last third of the film, she has the one eye is a different color than the other. You know, it's heterochromia.
Yeah, I've heard of that. Yeah, where you said
Yeah.
it's more common in dogs than people, or
I believe I said it more. It's common in some breeds of dogs, like huskies.
oh yeah, yeah. I've seen huskies, but I think I've met at least one or two people that had two different color eyes.
Oh yeah, because there's this YouTuber I always loved ever since I was in early college years. Roman Atwood, he had a husky at one point who had that same thing.
I thought for the
Oh,
I thought for the longest time I thought Marilyn Manson had that too, because sometimes he had two different color eyes too. But that was just for
yeah.
like
Contacts.
yeah, those were contacts though.
Yeah.
But I
So,
thought for the longest time those were actually. I thought for the longest time those that was real.
so I'd like in Twilight, once you become a werewolf in this film,
Hmm.
that's it. There's no going back.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
as far as
Okay.
I know, as far as I've seen throughout the franchise, yes, there's no turning back once transformed,
So yeah, it's not like
unless you're given the cure that Ginger or that Bridget and Sam were preparing for her.
mm, oh yeah, Joshua, I have seen a werewolf in London.
yeah. I was gonna say I'm sure
Mm,
you've seen that one,
interesting.
Kate, since
Oh,
Yes.
that takes place in London.
oh yeah, I love An American Werewolf in London. No werewolf movie beats that for me in my
Yeah,
book.
and
Oh yeah, best.
Paris Paris was
Best.
terrible.
Oh
Mhm.
yeah, I hated that sequel.
That didn't
It,
exist.
no,
Just London.
it's just this.
Yeah,
That's it.
classic. Yeah, I remember watching that with my dad when I was younger. It's been a while. Yeah.
Oh, I was a kid when I first saw it on AMC.
Same.
Yeah, I saw it too on. Ironically enough, it's a similar name on FearFest on AMC. And that's the sad part too is they don't even show those movies. I mean, I know they still have FearFest on AMC, but they don't even show those movies anymore. They haven't for several
Mhm.
years. The
Yeah,
only ones like they really ever show like from all those years ago is maybe like Halloween, Friday the 13th, and Nightmare on Elm Street, but they don't show like an American Werewolf in London. Like, what the
yeah.
hell happened?
Come on.
Like run out the. I don't know if it's because they just no longer hold the rights to showing it. I don't know, but I wish they could show
Yeah.
those again on Fear
They
Fest.
need to
Yeah,
show
I
the
wish
classics,
they are.
They also did. I also do remember that they showed. Actually, now that I think about it, it seems like they also showed more British horror films too. Because in addition to American Werewolf in London, I also remember
best.
what's that?
What? Because they're the best.
Yeah, they're the best. I also remember
Okay.
too. They used to air the Hellraiser movies. At least the first two they were made
Right.
in the UK and
Oh,
America.
were they made in the UK? Okay.
Well, it was a collaboration between the U.S. and the UK.
We need an all horror
Hmm.
channel. Yeah, I
Yeah,
agree.
we did at one point, but unfortunately they closed it down a few years ago. We had something called I never really found it the Chiller Channel, which was
That's right.
Oh.
which was specifically dedicated to showing like different horror movies and documentaries. Although
Mm.
sometimes they would expand a little bit just to give a little bit more expansion, I guess, for lack of a better term. But
Yeah.
What's your
they
favorite
shut it
franchise,
down.
Babyface? Here,
They
baby.
shut it down a few years ago, sadly.
Yeah, I'm sorry, Babyface. What was your favorite franchise? I'm reading the comment.
Twilight. No,
Oh,
I don't know.
oh,
No, I don't know.
ah,
Oh my god! But as far as horror channels, right now we have a horror stream service that I love. That stream service, Shutter.
yeah,
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, Final
Oh, Final
Destination.
Destination. Okay.
yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah.
we covered the second one last week. Yeah.
I still can't believe. So I got to ask you guys real quick because it was what Jeremy had said. So was it true that a theater, the roof collapsed during that movie?
I saw that. I read
Yeah,
about that.
it's true, but the photo that they use isn't the right photo. It's from another incident, but the actual article is true. It's just the photo
Wow.
isn't the
Oh,
correct one.
that's crazy.
But yeah, it did happen apparently.
Must be one of those new
Yeah.
movie hacks. Must be one of those new movie hacks. Yeah, like I said, Josh, they shut it down a few years ago,
Yeah,
sadly.
I did. Oh, yeah, I'm with you, Thomas. I prefer Blade over Twilight. In
Oh
fact,
yeah.
Well,
we gotta cover.
Todd probably likes Twilight because he always talks about the sparkles.
Oh my god! But yeah, we got to cover Blade 2 soon. Definitely. I
Hmm.
follow. Oh, you follow me on Twitter and Facebook. Oh, nice, Leon. Appreciate it. Oh, third one. I do enjoy the third Final Destination Babyface. We definitely got to cover that as well.
I absolutely love how people still call it Twitter. Like it will always be Twitter
Yeah,
forever. It
yeah,
will never be that.
exactly. Yeah,
That's what I've been calling it. So I'm not calling it.
The
yeah.
same.
I don't know what it's like. I don't know what you're thinking, Elon Musk, but I refuse to call it X.
It's
Exactly.
still Twitter. It's always been Twitter and will continue
Always
to be
will
Twitter.
be.
Just like how we have here in Chicago, the Sears Tower. It'll always be the
Yes.
Sears Tower. Like if you call it Willis Tower, no,
No.
I'm
just
just
no.
going to say for any, because again, most viewers who are watching are outside of Chicago. Any of you guys come out and you hear that name and you prefer it, most likely either you're going to get laughed at for it or you're going to be, let's just say you'll probably get beaten up.
The mention of that name, I will not say it out loud now.
They'll
And
probably
we're not going to save you because hey, we're Chicagoans too, so
Yep.
I don't blame
So,
them. It's just us keeping the tradition of the Sears Tower.
if you call it anything other than, if you come here and call it anything other than the Sears Tower, we can't save you. You're on your own.
Yep.
yeah, they'll
You
just
guys,
I don't know what that is.
I'm just going to say, did you guys know that over a decade ago that not only were they trying to change the name, they also wanted to paint the Sears Tower a different color. You know, like how you see that black, like how it's black in color. They wanted to paint it silver. And you know what?
No.
No.
Yeah, well, you know what? Us people of Chicago, we fought back and we got a petition and we successfully prevented that from happening. So no matter how bad they wanted to do it, we stopped and prevented the Sears Tower from being painted silver.
Yeah. Oh God. No.
Goodness.
No.
Thank goodness for that.
No.
Also, we all have to go to the new Harry Potter store that's downtown Chicago because it looks amazing.
I'm
So
up
we
for it.
all have to go at some point. It
Can't
looks
see why
so
not.
good.
Yeah, I'm down. We'll do it.
Yeah. Yeah, so
sure.
good.
Oh yeah. And what I like about here, I wanted to shift back to Ginger Snaps. Sorry,
Yeah, Josh, even Josh is agreeing. I'm sorry, I got to still even Josh, and he lives down in Florida. So you know what? That is awesome.
Yeah. So as much as I could talk about Chicago all day, but yeah, we still got a movie to cover. But so yeah, what I like about the whole transformation aspect is that not only does it explore like the physical changes, but also the psychological ones. Because as the transformation progresses, Ginger becomes more bitter, not bitter, but more irritable, and also escalates to violence.
Oh, wow.
There was,
Okay.
there was a point where she actually defended Bridget from a girl that was bullying them when they were playing like I think it's called, what was it, floor hockey? I think that's called.
I think so.
Yeah, I believe that's what that is. But yeah, so beats her, and then then that girl comes back. What man? I'm trying to remember what her name was. It's been, let's see. Oh yeah, Trina. That's her name. So Trina comes accusing them of stealing like her dog, but then gets into then Ginger like pretty much abducts her into the house and is about to she's about to throw down with her, but then some milk and cereal gets knocked over, and then Trina slips on that, hits her head on the countertop, and dies from that.
Yeah, that will do it. Yeah, it's pretty gruesome.
It got real at that moment. I'm just
Yeah.
like,
And I've heard of accidents like that in real life. And unfortunately, I'm not trying to sound funny or anything like that. Unfortunately, a lot of these people, they never make it. Or if they do, they become paralyzed. That almost happened to me when I told you guys
yes,
several years ago with the accident
you
I
did
had in
mention
the
that. Yes,
pool, where I almost hit the back of my head on one of the concrete steps. And that
Oh
I could have
no.
shared that same fate. I
yeah,
really could have died from that too.
that's right.
You have
But
to be so careful.
you have to.
That's why I don't do it. I since it's been over a decade, and to this day, I know my dad sometimes needs help with getting the pool ready, but I refuse to go back in there ever since.
Right.
Mm.
And so what they did was like with Trina's body, like they hid it inside of a freezer. And as for the blood that was pooling up on the floor, they just Ginger. This is brilliant. Ginger like posed in that blood to make it look like it was just another one of their death photos that they were
Yeah,
taking. So yeah, that was the way they covered that up. Yeah, like Kate, I don't know if you might miss this. You probably missed this when we were talking about it, but Bridget and Ginger are like morbid as it gets. They were like they loved creating these photos that make them look like they died from something, like impalements or overdose or hanging.
just
Yeah,
like the worst ways to die.
Wow.
Oh
yeah.
my God, Josh says he has two.
Oh,
Almost
jeez.
hit his head as
Oh,
well. Oh my
Josh.
God. So he knows the feeling.
Yeah. So, and yeah, so that's what they did. How they tricked their parents when they didn't have to clean up the. They didn't have to like hide the evidence of blood as far as the blood because they made it seem like it was just another one of their stunts.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
I see.
So they hid the body in the freezer, but then as they tried to put like they had to wait a while before they could move the body, but then by then it was like completely covered in ice, like frozen over. So they had to like use a screwdriver to try to pick it out, but I think Bridget accidentally hit Trina's hand and caused like two of her fingers to fall off.
Oh my
So
God.
Oh yeah, I forgot about
then they
that.
had bury the body in a shallow grave, even though it is technically an accident. But at the same time, I feel like it wouldn't like her death would not have happened if Ginger hadn't dragged her into the house.
Mm.
I mean, yeah, it's hard to say as to whether or not it really was their fault or not.
I never get that in some movies when it's clearly an accident and everyone panics and they take it on themselves to like deal with it. I'm like, what are you doing? Just call an ambulance. Like,
Yeah,
Call an
that's not
ambulance
what I
and
mean.
take all this pressure off of you.
yeah,
Yeah.
because I do remember seeing a movie years ago that had let's see, Josh from Drake and Josh. Remember that show? There was a movie called it was called Mean Creek. It had Kieran Culkin in it, and near the end of the
Oh,
film, like one of the like Josh Peck, he died accidentally hitting himself in the head with a camera while he was in the water.
God, wow.
Yeah. Oh, you haven't seen Mean Creek, have you?
No, I have not.
no.
I honestly never even heard of that movie.
Yeah, it's insane. You've seen it, Babyface. I see. Yeah, it had a very depressing ending. Seriously.
Jeez. See what Josh here says? Slipping and hitting my head.
Oh,
Oh, Joshua, that's not good.
Jesus.
Chris also said, at least some comments are showing up.
Yeah.
Like in Ghost Story when they think they killed the girl and put her in a car and push her into the river.
Yeah. I've seen all
Yeah,
kinds of movies where it's like
just don't make sense. Like, it's not realistic, you know?
that. I guess they're just afraid of being blamed for the death. Like
Yeah, but I mean, yeah,
Another
like
movie that
anybody else in that situation, you would just risk it, right? You would just call the ambulance and just be like, well, yeah, if I go to
another
prison, I
movie,
go to prison, but like it's not my
that
fault.
yeah, another movie that did something like that. Not necessarily an accident. Well, it was an accident, but not the same exact way. I don't know if you've seen this, Kate, because again, this is another movie that was made in the UK. Not necessarily a horror movie, more of a thriller, I would say. Shallow Grave did the same thing.
Oh, I
it's
saw trailers for it, but I never watched it.
Yeah, it's the same kind of situation too, where they just had someone stay and somebody dies, and they don't know what to do with that. And the problem I think that they had in that movie was their roommate apparently dies unexplainably, but leaves them with a suitcase full of money. So that's when they have to decide: do they take the money into the police, or do they get rid of the corpse and keep the money?
Wow.
yeah.
It
Man.
shows like the worst of humanity, doesn't it?
And
It's like
there was another horror film I remember seeing as a teenager called Tamara, where this a bunch of high school kids like are just messing with this girl named Tamara and create this terrible prank on her. And then one thing leads to another, and then she ends up hitting her head and dying. But they just so they bury the corpse instead of reporting this to the authorities. Wipe their hands clean, right? It's like the exact same thing that we've been talking about. And but little did they know that Tamara was experimenting with black magic and ends up coming back from the dead.
I feel like I have heard of that movie. I'm gonna have to look that one up.
Yeah, it's like that guy from. Let's see, what was it? That guy from, Air. What was it? Was it? Or no, it wasn't Arrow. It was Flash. It was one of those TV shows that I remember.
Okay.
Or wait, was it Glee? I don't know. I'm trying to remember which actor that was.
Was it
I,
the one from
I
2005?
never, I never researched it. Here, you know what? Let me do that right now.
Was it the one from
Yeah,
2005?
it was 2005. Let's see. It was no,
I
that was not him.
just want to ask anybody in the comments if anybody likes Japanese horror films or Korean horror films.
Oh, excuse
I
me.
love Japanese horror.
Like, we should totally cover a few Japanese horror films because, honestly, my opinion, Japanese horror is a whole other level of like psychological mess.
Oh, yeah.
Like, I really find that stuff scary.
Yep, they're
Not,
like
not violent or gory. It's like psychological.
oh,
Yeah.
it's believe me, I've seen a few of those, and
Yeah.
in fact,
Train to
we-
Busan. Oh yes,
we
we
talk
definitely
about
we definitely should cover Train to Busan. Yes.
when we talk about that, especially, of course, we should try to get. Hopefully, Irene will be available for that because I'm sure she's, in fact, she lives in Japan. I'm sure she's all too familiar with those kind of movies. So, but yeah, that would be great if we. I mean, yeah, we've covered Godzilla, but we should cover true J horror movies, as they're called.
We should.
Also, I need to find it, but they combined horror and comedy, and it is still to this day one of the most bizarre films I have ever seen, and I will never forget it. But I have to send you the title.
What?
I have to search
Okay.
for it.
Tucker and
There
Dale
was,
versus Evil.
there was a Japanese horror movie that did something like that, where they mixed some I mean, it is one of the more graphic Japanese films and gorier.
Zombies in it.
Well, the one I'm thinking, it's by director Takashi Miike, who directed Audition, but he also did a movie that was called Itchy the Killer, which it was gory and graphic and certainly scary, but I think they also did mix some comedy in it too. I mean, it's not meant to be a comedy horror film, but it still has that. That's just like how they make their movies sometimes.
Right.
Yeah.
Let's see. Oh, here's one thing I forgot to mention about the lycanthropy. I think this is like never been done with werewolf movies before, but they pretty much make lycanthropy into like an STD in this because there was a scene where Ginger spread it to one of the guys at school at their school, Jason, when they were getting intimate inside of a van, and he ended up getting lycanthropy through that. So. Yeah, werewolf. Where? Yeah. So yeah, you don't have to get bitten by a werewolf. You just it spreads like an STD.
That's right. That's right.
So
Again, yet another reminder, yet another message of when it comes to teenage puberty.
mm-hmm. And it's great. I like how when the school nurse explained to Bridget and Ginger about maturity in girls, and like she was doing it in like a very joyful way, and I'm just like, wow, this nurse is a bit much.
Yeah, really.
Okay, I found the title. I just posted it in the YouTube chat. It's Happiness of the Catechoris.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's so bizarre. It's crazy. But yeah.
Oh yes, Chris. They did use it as a metaphor for major changes. Definitely. Yeah, and I like how the final, like the last like third of the film takes place around Halloween, and that's when Ginger was like really taking on a wolf form. Everybody, and it was Halloween, so nobody suspected she was actually turning into a werewolf.
Yeah, I know.
Her hair is completely white at this point, and she has like a wolfish face.
The eyes too has like
Yeah.
dog-like eyes.
Yeah, exactly. Then she was targeting Sam because Sam was yeah like Sam she was blaming Sam for corrupting Bridget, but Bridget shows up and stops her from killing him, and tries to show Ginger that she is a devoted sister to her by cutting her hand and then cutting Ginger's hand and putting their hands together.
Ew.
So
Yeah.
infecting herself with lycanthropy. So
Yep.
to try to convince Ginger that Bridget is on her side, that
Mm,
she is trying to help. And
Which
so
not technically,
yeah,
obviously.
yeah. And what's crazy is how their mother actually finds Trinity's body from the shallow grave and is immediately wanting to protect the daughters. She actually confronts Bridget about it, and she says, "Bridget, we don't have to. We're not going to the authorities. We'll just run away from all this. I'll burn down the house if we have to hide the evidence."
wow.
Yeah, it's like, whoa, that was unexpected.
Yeah.
Yeah, that escalated. Like,
Very quickly.
who was the director?
Oh yes, the director of this film. Trying to
Just
remember.
wondered, like, what else the director has done.
Not much as far as I remember. Hold on. Just give me a second. Let me think. What was
Oh,
his
let's
last name? What was?
uh, they used it as a. Oh, that's right. What Chris said. They used it as a metaphor for life change, and that's what I was explaining earlier in the
Hmm.
Yes.
show, Chris.
Let's see. His name. What was his name? It was Fawcett. John Fawcett.
Okay.
Yeah, it just took me a bit to remember, but yeah, I haven't looked up his name in a while. But yeah, John Fawcett. That's his name. Let's see. I'm trying. You know what? In fact, let me look him up and see what else he made because I don't think he actually made.
Yeah.
I think Ginger Snaps. I think Ginger Snaps is the biggest thing that he's known for.
Okay.
Let's see. He's done TV mini. He's done a few TV series, like miniseries. I think. Let's see. Oh, Devil in Ohio. That's a miniseries. I remember that one.
Yep.
Uh, what else? Orphan Black. He's
I,
directed.
I remember that show. I think I watched a few episodes and then I just kind of gave up.
Oh, really?
Let's see. Yeah,
Yeah.
he's mostly just done TV work. Through
Orphan Black.
every
Mhm.
like some shows he'll direct one episode, some shows he'll direct 5 episodes. So
Hmm.
yeah, his career has been a little all over the place.
Interesting.
He directed some. Oh, Babyface is saying he directed Xena Warrior Princess. Oh, okay. I know that was a popular show, but I never really got into that.
Hmm. Was that the
Chris, really,
80s?
I think so. Early '80s, early '90s, one of the two.
Chris,
Yeah.
when we're going to Alton, Illinois, whenever you
When
guys are able to, I'd love to go back down to Alton. Of course, it would be fantastic for
What's that?
Alton,
Alton.
Illinois. That's in southern Illinois. It's literally right. It's literally right up to where the Mississippi River is, so it borders
Oh,
southern Illinois
Mhm.
and Missouri. That's often regarded as one of the most haunted small towns in America.
here, I wanted to show you guys the animatronic for the werewolf.
Yeah,
This is the what's known as the hero animatronic. If you don't know what hero animatronic is, that's like the animatronic that they make the most realistic. For this is mainly done for like close-ups for like if they hit, like it gets the majority of the screen time out of all the animatronics. But yeah, here I'll show you guys this.
oh yeah, the animatronic. Yeah, that's really well done.
Oh yeah,
Oh,
I've always
it
loved it.
it looks like have you seen The Witches, the original one?
Yes,
Oh
Yeah,
yeah,
it kind of
when
does have.
they turn into the
yeah.
rat. Yeah.
It kind of does have that kind of vibe to it. I think. Yeah, I can kind of see that. Yeah, I love the way the eyes look. I love. Like
Yeah.
yeah, like typically you expect werewolves to be like all furry and whatnot, but no, it's pretty clear they were going for a different approach on this.
It's a bald rat.
Yeah, I expected it to have more hair. That's surprising.
That's what I'm saying. It even kind of does have more of a human-like look to it too.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess they were trying to show that even though Ginger had fully transformed, there's still it's like it just reminds you of what she used to be. Like she,
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
It's
like
a
a
bit
high.
like Remus Lupin in Harry Potter. He
huh.
kind of transformed into that sort
Yep.
of werewolf.
Oh wait, here, sorry, Babyface is saying the guy who did the effects also did Kill Bill and Fat Bastard and Austin Powers. Oh, really?
Oh.
What do you
Okay,
know?
that's interesting. Yeah. Been wanting to look into like who did the practical effects, but yeah, because they actually did a very amazingly well done job in this, especially like not just with the werewolf stuff, but also with the dead body parts moments. Because yeah, they showed like off screen, Ginger had also killed the school counselor who was confronting her in his office. Like, it happens off screen. She drags Bridget in to see like the aftermath of it. I'm talking like claw marks on his face. Like
Oh
she really
no.
did. It's yeah, like the gore effects on that were good. Like she really did a number on the guy. I'm like, whoa, man, that was insane. Yeah, and also the janitor too. Yeah, she killed the
Oh
janitor.
yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, at first bit him on the she like slowly killed him. I'm like, wow, she
She
was
just
being
she just slaughtered that guy.
yeah. And then we get to like the tragic. I hate spoiling movies for you, Kate, but yeah, well, I should mention the
I
ending.
don't think I'm going to watch it.
It's good. Ninja Six is good though.
I don't know. There's a lot of really unnecessary and gory deaths in it.
Well, the director found it necessary,
Yeah.
but yeah, but the ending is pretty tragic though. It's like yeah, she was unable to save Ginger, and then they'll end up dying in their bedroom. Like, because Ginger was like in the wolf form, and Bridget had a knife in one hand and the injection or the syringe that had the cure in it. She
Yep.
had like Ginger was launched at Bridget, and then ended up getting hit with the knife instead of the syringe. So yeah, Ginger laid there dying, and like Bridget was like looking around at the photos that they took together, like not in the which the fake death photos, but also the photos of just them together. Reflecting on the time she had with her sister. Like she was just about to lose her big sister. Like that
That's
ending
the
was just
sad part
tragic.
of that's a real sad part. Like once
So,
she sees the pictures and realizes what she has become, she realizes that
Well,
her
it's not what she's
sister.
become. It's not what she's become. It's what she's lost.
Well, you get what I. Well, that well, like what she's turned into, I guess. But the bottom line pretty much pretty much is that
Hey, Braxton.
it's no longer her big sister anymore. It's pretty much she lost
but
her
would
best and only friend.
would the syringe cure have
Yeah,
worked?
she tested it on the boy that she infected, Jason, because Jason was about to attack a kid, but Bridget intervened and then injected him with it.
Okay.
So it would have worked.
Yeah,
Okay.
But then again, he was still in the early stages of transformation. I know there's some conditions that can't be cured if it's like further advanced. So
Yeah.
yeah,
it's like so now I can't even I can't even say whether or not it could have been cured. But yeah, Josh, I agree. Like Bridget, out of all this, Bridget was the biggest victim in this.
Hmm.
she
Like she,
was
she tried so hard to like to save her sister, but it was for nothing.
to no avail.
Yeah. Shame.
Yeah, and it just showed her like after looking at all the pictures, reflecting on the fact that she's losing her sister, like then going on like and just like putting her head like right on like Ginger's body, like she's like breathing until the breathing stopped. Like man, that
Yeah.
was that
Yeah,
that ending was just about as sad as it could get.
it was because, like I said, in the end, it's not about what she has to do to survive. It's the fact that, again, like I said, she lost her only and best friend.
Yeah. Then she spent the next movie being on the run
Yep.
because she's still infected.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah. So yeah, then there's Ginger Snaps 2 Unleashed, and then Ginger Snaps Back, the beginning, which takes place almost 200 years before the events of the first film. So sequel and prequel released in the same year, 2004.
Oh,
Yeah,
interesting.
but I think Ginger Snaps is definitely worth seeing, Kate, because I love their take on lycanthropy. I like the movie's message. It's
Yeah.
yeah, this is like and yeah, like coming of age, if like that's definitely what this is. And also, it should be mentioned that Emily Perkins, who played Bridget, she was in another coming of age film, Juno.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
only it was a much lesser part though, but still, it was awesome seeing her in that.
Yeah.
And I like the way how Ginger Snaps really works out. I mean, yes, it is true. There have been plenty of werewolf movies, but this one really took a different direction compared to many others.
Yep.
Mm,
Oh, hey Billy, thanks for tuning in. Here at the end of the
Yeah, I
day,
was going to say I haven't heard from him. I
there was
haven't
no
heard from
cure.
him at
The
all
second
tonight.
one, the second one proved that. Yes, I agree, Babyface. Totally agree. If you want to,
okay.
oh, Babyface is suggesting start with a prequel. Yeah,
Yeah, that's a good idea.
maybe.
We
Oh,
saw the original a long time ago.
oh yeah, because the original came out in the year 2000. So, and I was 8 years old, and I still remember the movie trailers. I still
Wow.
remember that music that they used in the trailer. That's one.
I
And then
don't,
I
I
remember
don't remember that, to be honest.
I remember seeing the trailer and the mom with her kid screaming, and I didn't even know what it was until I saw the movie years later. She's
Oh,
screaming over finding her dog dead. Yeah,
Oh,
yeah, but yeah, like there are some. I'm not gonna lie, Kate. There are sensitive moments, but I truly believe this movie is worth seeing. I like, well, like I just love what they do with this movie.
okay.
Oh, forget the lead was in Freddy versus Jason. Yes, I did mention that.
right.
Yes, I did mention that she played Gib in Freddy versus Jason. Catherine Isabel.
And Nick's going to be in the reboot of Freddy versus Jason.
Hopefully, hopefully.
With his new
Hey, I, I don't mind. I would love to.
I mean, hey, Thomas. Believe me, I love dogs too. But whenever I see a scene like that, I just tell myself, okay, remember, the no dogs are actually dead. This is just a movie. You know,
Yeah.
this is not Cannibal Holocaust. So
Yeah, yeah.
nobody's actually killed any dogs in this. Yeah.
You know, I will just say, not for that movie, but you know what we should cover? Because again, we should play a little on that, not on that movie, but a movie that played on that urban legend. There actually is a movie that came out back. Yes, I know, Chris. There was a movie that came out back in the 70s. It's not a very well known movie. And I have to watch it actually
I
before I
remember
make the
that line too,
conclusion.
Babyface.
But there's a movie that, ironically enough, is called Snuff, which it doesn't have anything like it is with Cannibal Holocaust, but it still plays on that urban legend because it was supposed to be that movie to be based on the legend that this was an actual snuff movie.
Right.
But
I think I've come across that once before.
yeah, they had a trailer for. They said like the bloodiest thing to ever occur in front of a camera, snuff.
Yeah. Oh, here. Wanted to respond to Billy's comment. He said he's asking when will you cover Freddy versus Jason? We will cover that after we cover the rest of the Friday the 13th movies, which I want to get back to this summer. So pretty soon we're gonna get back to covering Friday the 13th movies again. So starting with for Friday the 13th Part 5, A New Beginning, which I consider to be one of the lesser films, but still got to cover it. It's part of the franchise.
All right, it's all right. It's probably, to be honest, it's probably one of my least favorite ones, but it was all right for what it is. Oh, and
Yeah.
by the way, just so you know, Rochelle just gave a like on my
Oh,
personal page, so that meant she was briefly watching. So good to see her, Rochelle.
okay, cool. Thanks for tuning in, Rochelle. Yeah.
I don't know if she's watching
So,
still, but she probably just came in just to give a like.
yeah, I'm really excited about covering Part 6. Jason Lives.
Jason's Lives was a little bit better than Part 5.
Yeah. Yeah, I still, I don't know. Like, I'm not sure which one was worse, Part 5 or Part 8. I wasn't that crazy about Part 8. And also, I should mention, Friday the 13th Part 8, false advertising. The whole cover is a lie. It shows, like, Jason, like, look at, like, like, looking at, like, he's taking over Manhattan. Like, Jason
Yeah,
takes Manhattan, but he doesn't really do any such thing. He just spends most of the time on a ship, on a cruise ship, and then chases a few kids in Manhattan. And that's it. Yeah, that's all
you're
it
gonna
is.
find this hard. You're gonna
Wow.
find this really hard to believe, Todd. But did you know that is the only Friday the 13th movie I have never seen? I've seen all the other ones except that one.
Uh, Here. I got all 8 movies on here. So
Yeah, that's cool.
yeah. So all 8 of the original, all through these were all done in the 80s.
Well, except for 2 of them, which Jason Goes to
Yeah,
Hell and
just
Jason X.
totally.
Like I said, the original 8 from the 80s.
Yeah.
Oh, Here, part five. Oh, here, Babyface says, I feel like part five kind of stands on its own in some way. Yeah, I could see that. Yeah, I mean,
Mm.
they were trying to go in a different direction. But then in the end, it's like it didn't work, so they had to bring Jason back.
You
Jason
guys
is
see what Josh said? They should play the Texas Chainsaw Massacre Leatherface. I could see him chasing people with chainsaws.
there you go,
I
Nick.
mean, I kind of do something like that in Minecraft, but with a pickaxe.
Yeah, that's true.
Oh, here.
And lava.
Yeah, Billy, we already covered all the Nightmare on Elm Street films, except for the remake. We're waiting until after we cover Friday the 13th remake.
I don't know if I'm going to do the remake one. I did
Chris.
not like it.
Yeah, I mean, I could see why some people disagree with that.
Hey, another like we just got from another investigator friend of mine
Ooh,
named Singh,
okay.
who, once again, Don, he's another investigator from all the way from Indonesia.
Oh, okay.
Wow.
All right.
We had someone else a while back. So, yeah, another Indonesian viewer.
Yeah. Oh, here, Billy, we can't see the comment. We have to do it through our phones. Yeah, we've been having this issue earlier, but
Yeah. We're
Here.
only able to show some comments.
Here.
Unfortunately,
Here.
not all the comments are coming from all the destinations.
Yeah.
Nick, can you see Billy's comment?
No, I can't. I don't see, like,
Okay.
I can't see him here on the studio.
Oh, here. Billy says, Nick, speaking of snuff, don't cover and watch August Underground. It's horrible.
August Underground. I don't think I've even heard of that movie.
And it's probably better we don't. Oh, hey, Sarah.
I'm still gonna look it up.
Here. Oh, you sent me an email? Okay, I'll have to take a look. I'll have to see. Oh, wait. Yeah, you sent me an email talking about how to reach you. Yeah, I shared that with Nick, like you asked. Oh, here's one random Friday the 13th. Jason takes Prozac?
What? All I could see. Okay, so just real
Wow.
quick, August Underground is it came out a year after Ginger Snaps, 2001. It's an exploitation horror film.
Oh.
And directed by Fred Vogel. Oh, it's one of those movies where the director is also the main character in the movie. Film stars Vogel as a serial killer named Peter not Peter Griffin, named Peter, who kidnaps and kills several innocent people while his unnamed accomplice, played by Alan Peters. That was co-wrote by Alan Peters. Okay.
Here, I just came across something.
Yeah, it's okay, now I can see what he's talking about. Yeah, his unnamed accomplice, played by Peters, films and documents the murders. It's filmed as a found footage style. So again, it's supposed to play on the urban legend that it's a snuff movie.
Oh, Jesus.
I'm
But
good.
as far as I was just looking through any recent films that Catherine Isabel has been in. So she has done has done It's a Wonderful Knife, a Christmas horror film that we should definitely cover at
Wow.
the upcoming Christmas season. But also, she voiced Barbara in Night of the Animated Dead.
Oh God!
Yeah,
no.
I know some of you guys haven't seen Night of the Animated Dead, and believe me, it's not worth it. Yeah, Night of the Animated Dead is. Oh my God, they could have done so much better with it because I should have shown you. I forgot to show you guys this when we covered that Night of the Living Dead remake in 1990. But yeah, they did make an animated version of the original film. Here, I'll let you guys be the judge. In case you guys are curious, here you go.
Oh God, we're actually gonna watch it.
Trailer.
Well, that's what I mean. The trailer.
This is the National Civil Defense Headquarters. There is an epidemic of mass murder with no apparent pattern or reason. The killers are eating the flesh of the people they kill. Remain in your home. Keep all doors and windows locked or boarded shut. That's all for now.
Hey, don't look at it. I need you to get some wood. Whoa, don't shoot! How long have you guys been down there?
That's the cellar. It's the safest place.
All law enforcement agencies have been organized to destroy the marauding ghouls.
Good Lord.
Stay safe out there.
Some of us can go out and try to get to the truck.
We've got to get down into the cellar.
If you're coming, come on! They're coming to get you, Barbara. Night of the Animated Dead.
Jeez.
Yeah, like I agree with you, Billy.
So, what was the point of making them
Yeah,
I don't know.
animated?
They could have done so much better with literally any other movie, remaking and also with
Yeah,
better animation. Seriously, like I agree with Billy on this. That animation looks like the cheap looking Flash animation that most
yeah,
people had stopped using on the internet like 20 years ago.
totally.
just,
Jesus.
just real quick, I was just doing more
Oh,
research.
American Mary. That's right, babyface. Yeah.
Just looking at more research about this movie that was brought up, August Underground. There's controversy. So it turns out, because since we were covering a movie, Ginger snaps all this talk about movies in Canada. This happened in Canada. 2005, while traveling to Canada to attend the Rue Morgue Festival of Fear in Toronto, director and co-writer Fred Vogel was arrested pending charges of transporting obscene materials into Canada, and copies of August Underground and its sequel were found by custom officials among the merchandise he had intended to bring to the convention. The charges, however, were eventually dropped after Vogel had spent roughly 10 hours in customs custody, and his films were sent to Ottawa for further observation. And even more strangely, even though this was made almost 25 years ago, is anybody familiar with the singer Ethel Cain? Does anyone know who she is?
I'm okay. Where have I heard that name?
I don't know who she is. She's kind of more of a recent up and coming singer. I guess she started like when she was like in high school, and she still perform well. Yeah, well, actually, no, probably after high school, I would say. But she's noted for her focus on nostalgic and Southern Gothic themes, while her music has been associated with the ambient, Indian, contemporary folk, indie rock, and contemporary folk genres. But apparently, she's got an album that was made back in 2022 called Preacher's Daughter, and ironically enough, one of the songs is called August Underground, and it's named after that movie.
I see. Huh. Wow. Oh, Billy said the cover art for Night of the Animated Dead is more detailed than the actual movie. Yep. That's how they try to get you. Maybe try to make it look like the box more presentable than the movie is.
Yep.
Seriously, like I'm not even gonna, I have not seen Night of the Animated Dead, nor will I ever. Yeah, no. It's like I took one look. I just took one look at that trailer. I'm like, you gotta be kidding me. This is not even like, like yeah. It's like easy pass on that. I'm not wasting my time on that. So yeah, Ginger Snaps. It is gruesome, tragic, but definitely worth it for any horror fan. Seriously, like I it did not have. I'm not gonna lie, it was not successful when released, but it's gained a huge following since then.
Yep.
This movie is definitely getting a lot more praise now than ever.
25 years later.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Oh yeah, and the sequels are not half bad either. So I'd say give them a watch. Yeah, hopefully one day we'll cover those as well.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you know this own movie? Do you own this movie on Blu-ray? I do not. There's some movies that I don't own on Blu-ray because I could just watch them I have certain places where I could watch certain high quality movies. Like I could watch the original Dawn of the Dead in 4K on YouTube. So I feel like there's no need for me to buy the Blu-ray copy. Yeah. So, but most films I do buy. But there are just certain ones that I can access. But
Yeah.
anyway, so yeah, Ginger Snaps. Love this movie. It's definitely a very grim take on the whole coming of age aspect. So yeah, this be sure to tune in next week when we cover Cloverfield. I'm excited for that one.
Yeah, that would be good.
Yes, so it's been a while since we covered a found footage film, and I'm doing this because a lot of you have voted for both Ginger Snaps and Cloverfield in a recent poll that I had, and I threw in Final Destination 3 in that poll, and surprisingly enough, that got the least amount of votes. And yeah, I'm surprised by that because I would think with the new movie out, a lot of people want us to cover more Final Destination.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, here, when I saw the trailer reveal, I immediately thought of the scene from Ace Ventura. She found Captain Winky. Oh, my God. Oh, my God. Billy.
I'm not even going to question that.
Any plans on reactions? Yep, starting tomorrow. Another reaction's coming up. It's gonna be a surprise. Yeah. So yeah, that'll be it. That's gonna be it for this edition of the Fear Fans podcast. Again, sorry about that whole issue we had with comments being displayed, but next time we'll make sure that doesn't happen again next time. We're gonna figure out why.
Yeah, that's why Jeremy said we're going to have to really try to focus and pay attention to what's going on, next time something like this happens. I'm pretty sure that Jeremy and I are probably going to be talking more about this on Thursday with Supernatural Talk. So, hopefully we'll have more information about, what's been going on with the broadcasts.
Yeah, hopefully we'll get this figured out soon.
And also,
I
I also just want to point out, too, because I know Braxton already knows about this, so I'm sorry if I'm repeating this information again. There's a possibility. I'm not sure if we're going to be able to get the show on. We might be having a new podcast joining our network soon. I'm not sure if it's going to be on Things Network because of the time it broadcasts. He broadcasts his show on Sunday nights, but we might be able to have him broadcast on the other network that I halfly own, N&W Multiverse Network, and very good likely chance we might be getting probably the only show that we know of from South America. So sometime this week, I gotta reach out to the guy. His name's Gustavo. I gotta reach out to him and see if because I know he's interested. Unfortunately, we may not be able to get. The reason why we probably may not be able to get him on Things Network is, even though it's about, because he lives down in Uruguay, to be exact, in South America. Right. He says his show broadcasts at 8:00, which I think is 8:00 his time, which I think it's about 7:00 our time when he does his show. So he's about an hour behind us. And even though he broadcasts it before any show on Things Network begins, unfortunately, his show does go for at least a good hour and a half or so. And by the time it's 8:00 here, that's when Cat Hobson's show is broadcasting. So, and now with what Facebook is doing, where you can only broadcast one show at a time, the only thing that we could do at this point is have him broadcast on N&W Network. But I'm really excited about it. This is going to officially mean, because I know Josh has been a loyal viewer, whether he's on Things Network or not, or on this new network, the fact that some of our shows broadcast on both networks, I think it's safe to say our networks are going to be officially now on 5 different continents.
All right.
That's amazing.
That's great.
And so, speaking of live shows, before we cut this out, I want to let you guys know that tomorrow I'll be on live stream playing some more Dead Space. I'm hoping I can wrap it up tomorrow. So, trying to finish all the side missions and finish the last part of the game. Finally get off that nightmare of a ship that is Ishimura. Oh, my God.
Thunderstorms? What the hell is that supposed to mean?
What?
Thunderstorms? Oh, unless he's saying he's getting storms over there. I'm not sure. I think it must have been for something else, I think.
Okay, he might have
said that to somebody else. And Josh said, yeah, it's difficult for me to work in Japan with it. Well, no, this guy, Gustavo, he lives in Uruguay down in South America. Although that's another thing, too, I should probably say is, in case any of you guys decide to check it out.
Vampire Survivors. I have. Good game.
If any of you guys do decide to check out his show, I should probably let you guys know ahead of time that the show is not in English. It will be in Spanish, but I honestly think that it's another... I honestly like the idea that it's in a different language. I think it's another direction to take to see a paranormal podcast, not only from another country once again, but to also hear it in a different language perspective.
Okay, great. All right, so that's going to be it for FearFans podcast. Be sure to tune in next week as we cover Cloverfield. I'm excited. Very excited.
Thanks, everyone. Have a good evening.
Yep. Take care.
Hope you guys enjoyed. Enjoy the rest of your Tuesday evening. Have a good night, everybody.
Good night, everyone.